everyone, it is Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Thank you for joining me in my little corner of the internet where I discuss all things planners, fountain pens, and fountain pen inks. Today, yes, it's new pen day, and this one came all the way from Japan. It is another package from Yumiko of Good Pen Life, and I love the way Yumiko packs these with such care and personalization. So it came in this beautiful bag, and it was shipped via FedEx from Japan to Canada, and I'll go over the actual costs and customs charges and things like that I incurred, and then we'll do our unboxing. So I ordered this from Yumiko over Instagram, and the price that was quoted to me was 53,000 yen, and on the day that I purchased this pen, the exchange rate ended up being $497.53 Canadian. And then when I actually had to pay customs shipping or customs charges from FedEx, the customs charges were $56.38 Canadian. No other charges on top of that. So I'm hoping that's helpful for anyone who decides to order from Good Pen Life. Now, Yumiko is not the only third-party reseller of pens like this in Japan. I know there's Sakura pens. I know there's, I think, Shiba pens as well. So there's a few third-party sellers that allow North Americans like myself to be able to purchase limited editions of pens like this. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox this or unpackage this. Yes, it is another platinum, which is shocking for me. But before I do that, let's open this little package here. So with this, there were some lovely stickers that were sent along with the little package, but also, oh, I got this out already. But there's like this cute little origami rose. And I know there's one more thing in here. Oh, and a few more stickers and ephemera as well. So I love the personal touch that has been added to these, because it's so nice to be able to connect with other people in the community, but also to have access to these pens that we don't normally get to in North America. It's wonderful. All right, so yes, ooh, it is a platinum, and you can already tell it is a fine. So let us open this up. Now, there's no special packaging with this, and I appreciate that, because then really the main cost that you're paying for is the pen rather than super fancy packaging. And let's open that up. Okay. Oh, here we go. And I've already opened this, but I'm still in love with the beauty of it. This is the platinum, and this is, I'm getting my exact, I've got my iPad here with the exact details here. So this is the platinum and Kobayashi, and this is the Suruga Bay 3776. And I love that the body and the resin of it are kind of this grayish blue white with shimmer, and then you have the rose gold detailing. So it's a platinum Century 3776 collaboration with Kobayashi, and it is called Suruga Bay. And just look at the beautiful, beautiful nib on this. Isn't that stunning? Lovely. What made me decide to get this? I decided to get this because this was actually one of my first choices before I purchased the Hatsuyuki. And when I saw that this was still available and I was able to sell 4 fountain pens last month, I had the budget to be able to purchase this. I'm just trying to remember, was this my Black Friday? This was my Black Friday purchase of 2025. So I was able to sell a few pens and then have the budget to purchase this on Black Friday. Oh, isn't that stunning? Gorgeous. I love the shimmer in here. And this is one of those pens that I told myself, no, I don't need it. You can get yourself a cheaper alternatives, like something similar, like the the Pilot Kakuno and the Mataromi series. But once I tried that Hatsuyuki with a 14 karat fine nib, I was like, I have to try this one and I have to get this. And I was able to get the budget for this by selling other pens in my collection. All right, so let's go ahead and ink this up Or before I do that, let's go ahead and compare the sizing of this with other pens in my collection. We'll go ahead and weigh it, and then we'll ink this up and do a quick writing sample. So excited. So let's compare. This is the Kobayashi in the Suruga Bay, and then here we have my Hachimonjiya in the Hatsuyuki. Gorgeous, but I also want to bring in another Hachimonjiya collaboration, but this time with Sailor, and that one is the Cherry Blossom. And I feel like I'm going to bring in another Sailor here. This one is a Wancher. Ooh, let's move that out of the way. A Wancher in the Frozen Sake. So I feel like the taste in my pens right now is kind of going along this direction. And I don't mind that. I'm not angry about that at all. So you can see the differences in sizing here between a Pro Gear and the Platinum 3776, but I want to also compare. So let's take these two out. I'll also compare it to other pens in my collection. So for example, the Leonardo Momento Zero. Then we'll compare it with a Pilot Kakuno, and then one that I always compare it with, a TWSBI Eco. So I know that in terms of sizing, the 3776 is similar in length to a Momento Zero, but definitely shorter than the TWSBI Eco. But let's look at all of these uncapped. So there are all of the pens uncapped, and you can see how the Platinum 3776 actually is a little bit closer now in length to the Pro Gear size, and now the Momento Zero is longer in body length. And even the Kakuno is longer in body length than the 3776, and the TWSBI Eco is definitely the longest out of all of them. I'll also compare, because one of the most comfortable sections for me in any pen is the Esterbrook SD. So if I compare those two together, you can see that the Esterbrook SD is longer, but in terms of the grip section, which for me, the comfort level of a pen is definitely affected by the grip section. The grip section of the Platinum 3776 is a little bit narrower than the SD, and also the body, you can tell, is a little bit narrower than the SD as well. But when I'm holding the pen like this in my hand here, it's actually not uncomfortable. My fingers sit right on the threads, which are not sharp at all, and even that little gap between, or that little increase between the body and the grip section doesn't bother me at all. Now, would I post this? You certainly can, and it posts really well and posts quite deep, but I personally wouldn't post this because I find that where the cap is sitting right now in my hand in the Perlicue is right where the ridges of the cap are, so with all of that detailing, and I'm gonna find that actually a little bit irritating for me because it's a lot of sensory stuff happening in the Perlicue here. So I don't normally post my pens just because of that issue, but also for me, this is a good size and this is a good weight. So now that we've compared those pens, let's go ahead and weigh my Platinum 3776, and then we'll go ahead and ink that up. All right, so the 3776 capped is 24 grams, and then uncapped, it is 14 grams. So then the cap itself actually is about 11 grams. Ooh, don't roll away, 13 grams, yeah. So actually a pretty lightweight pen, and then once you fill it, then it's actually not too bad at all. And then I forgot to mention that it does come with the Platinum converter, so you don't have to purchase a separate converter with this. And if you're not familiar with this model of pen as well, I keep forgetting to mention here because I'm just so excited and I just want to ink it up. But one of the things that I really like about the 3776 is the beautiful detailing on the nib here for Suruga Bay, but it's in this rose gold finish, and then you can see that little breather hole in the shape of a heart, and I got this in a fine nib. Isn't it stunning? Absolutely stunning. And I can't stop looking at this. Okay, before I get completely lost in the details of this, because it is stunning, let's go ahead and ink this up. So I have the pen all inked up now, and I decided to ink it up with Kitty Inkpot Cloud Echo. And I'll do a quick sample here. So the brand is Platinum. Oh, that nib, so good. And the model is the 3776 Century. And I actually should put here Kobayashi. The nib is a 14 karat fine, and the color is Suruga Bay. And it is inked with Kitty Ink Pot Cloud Echo. Loving that so far. Oh, did I need another 3776 Century, especially a special collaboration from Kobayashi? The answer is yes. The more I write with this nib, the more I love it. It is so smooth and crisp, and the ink flow is great. The rose gold detail and the shimmers in the resin are so perfectly beautiful. Absolutely worth it for me. So another platinum to add to my collection, and truthfully I don't know whether I'm going to be purchasing another one. There is the kind of lilac or lavender ayame that's out there, but it's not in stock anywhere, and it's one of those things that, like, do I really need it? Actually, you know what, I'm comparing these two right now, and it feels like the gold on here feels a little more coppery or rosy, whereas this one is not as rose gold. Like, do you see that? Do you see that detail? Hold on, there we go. Do you see that detail where the detailing, or the rose gold on the Hatsuyuki looks a little more copper than the one on the Suruga Bay? Really interesting. But so far, like I said, I'm loving these two. I love the way they write. I love how beautiful they look, and they're definitely worth it to me. I think I'm getting to that point in my collection where, you know, I'm being very, what is the word that I'm trying to say? I'm being very intentional, and I usually am very intentional about my purchases. And when it comes to purchases like these, I'm also very mindful of the fact that, especially with my budget and how many pens I want my collection to stay at, I have to weigh the purchase of a new pen with what is already in my collection. Are there pens that I could sell to fund this pen? Because I think, like I said, I'm at that point in my collection where it's gonna kind of be one in, one out, because I'm happy with the number that I have. I feel like if I had any more than what I do have, it would be a little bit overwhelming for me. So any other pens that are going to come into my collection are going to be because I've sold other pens to help fund it and things like that. I'm just noticing though, and I'm bringing this in here as well, I'm just noticing though that I'm definitely on this, I guess, theme of more not opaque, but more transparent, translucent finishes. I mean, you've got the Jinhao 20 here, and then I also have the Jinhao 20 in like the kind of translucent white with the shimmer, and then you've got like all of the Mataromi series as well for the Pilot Kakuno, and then even my Wancher is in that kind of transparent blue. So I'm definitely, I think my taste at this time of year for the last half of this year has definitely been around the more transparent, lighter colors, and I am not mad about that at all. There we go. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm hoping this was helpful for you. So once again, I purchased this from Good Pen Life on Instagram. This was 53,000 yen, including shipping from Japan to Canada. And then I paid an extra $53.26 for shipping through FedEx. So 53,000 yen. And once again, the exchange rate at that time meant that I paid $497.53 Canadian. Oh, and sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran up the stairs to answer the door because my daughter came home. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe as well. Thanks again, and have a great day.